got it done.
Well, that sucked.
Oh my God. I can't believe that just happened. Oh, wow. We found this deer back in, I guess sometime in July, and was out in the beans eating quite a bit, so we put some, maximizer out, and we were getting a lot of pictures, some corn. We're getting a lot of pictures of this deer that showed up, and just a real widespread, and it just was number one on our hit list pretty much. And I was so shocked when that deer showed up that morning and gave me that perfect shot opportunity, and I can't even begin to express the emotional high that I felt.
Dave and I have hunted ever since we were, I don't know, old enough to carry a bow or a gun. So we got a lot of history together. And this day really sticks out, probably as one of my most fondest memories that I'll probably ever have.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Come on, baby, go down. Go down. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Oh my God. Oh. Oh, I think I drilled him. Oh my God. I can't believe that just happened. Oh, wow.
Before I could even really get to what may have went wrong with the shot, or where the deer went, or where he could be bedded down, I got too caught up with the guy's reaction.
The sounds that this guy makes and the gestures and his facial expressions is almost like an alternate personality or something. It was disturbing.
Well, we're back at the scene of the incident this morning. About 8:30 is when I shot the buck, and you can see by the video, not a ton of penetration there. I love the arrow placement, quartering away, but the penetration wasn't what we hoped it'd be. So we've given him plenty of time. Eric has came over and going to help me do some blood trailing here. Hopefully, we're gonna have some happy endings here at the end of this blood trailing effort. Got quite a bit right here. Good blood. don't really see any bubbles in it, which is a little concerning, but at the same time, I didn't really think that I would find this kind of blood right out here in the field right after he was shot due to the lack of penetration. So we're just going to ease on up here, stay on it a little bit, and kind of see what develops. I don't really see any bubbles of the blood though. It could be lung, could be one lung and liver, it could be liver, I'm not really sure. What's your thoughts on that? It's good blood, but the last thing I want to do is barge in here and bump him, knowing we got good blood, but it's just kind of dark. Well, we found the arrow, and didn't stay in for too terribly long, but there's a lot of blood on the arrow, and I don't know how much penetration we actually had. You know, we've been, I don't even have a clue. I mean, it's probably been in the neighborhood of 500 yards. You know, it's been a long way. From what we can tell, he hasn't laid down yet, so fingers crossed. On that first day, we tracked blood until we lost light. Had about 6 hours and 500 yards invested in it. The next day, I was able to pick up the blood trail again and follow it around through quite a maze, a zigzag through the thickets, and covered several hundred yards before finally losing blood there on that second day. The third day was full of grid searches and called in a drone to fly over. The rest of the week was spent knocking on doors and gaining access to search neighbors' farms just to see if maybe Nails had made his way over there. I, along with several friends and family members, continued to search for the next week or so, only to come up with no luck whatsoever. We wanted to put forth as much effort as humanly possible to see if we could find Nails. But given the lack of penetration, I was hopeful that maybe Nails had survived, so I repositioned all my cameras on the farm just to see if I could try to get a picture of him over the next couple of weeks. But no sign. I was starting to think that maybe I would never see Nails again.
So this whole thing unfolds totally to his detriment.
The worst part about it was watching David's emotions through that day. I mean, he was from the 8:30 in the morning, that phone call, I mean, he was on top of the mountain. And by 5 o'clock that evening, when we finally give up the search, he was in the gutters. I mean, he was in the ditch, just beside himself. And I think I've hunted with him for 25, 30 years, and I've never seen him this distraught over a deer. He felt worse, like most hunters do, that, you know, we were all three after this deer. It was a hell of a deer. And the fact that he thought we wounded this deer and was never going to recover this deer really took a toll on him.
Here it is, November 23rd, almost a full month later. I get a phone call from Eric. He's at work, and he said, you know, I need a huge favor. Can you go help? Which this is no favor at all. This brings joy to my heart to see Travis kill his deer. But he said, can you possibly go help Travis? He shot a giant. He shot a big deer, and he started describing the deer to me. And all the deer that I have pictures of, or we have pictures of, or seen, there's only one deer like that here, and it's this deer who Travis calls Vegas. So, you know, and talking to Travis on the phone, he described it to a T, and here he is. The wound is here where I shot him, but I was unable to get it done with my arrow. But fortunately, Travis Sparkman, he got it done, man, on a giant. This is the deer of a lifetime, buddy. Congratulations, man. I'm proud of you.
And to watch David's reaction after that shows his character and his class. A lot of people asked him, you know, how bad would you feel? You know, that's got to be rough to take. But he was a champ, man. I mean, he was just as excited that Travis killed it than where, you know, if he were the one to have killed it. So that shows a lot of class.
When you shoot any animal and you lose them, That's just a gut-wrenching feeling that I wouldn't wish on anyone. Travis Sparkman's a fine young man that I've had the pleasure of knowing nearly all of his life. He's the son to my best friend and hunting partner, Eric Sparkman, who we've had all kinds of ups and downs in the woods in the past. So when I got that phone call saying Travis killed a big deer, well, I was really happy to be there on the spot whenever he recovered. And sure enough, it was Nails. When news spread about Travis's harvest, I got a lot of apologies from family, friends, and fellow hunters, but I wasn't needing those at all. I was happy and relieved. Happy for Travis, a fine young man that deserved this deer. He put a lot of time and effort into him, and he was rewarded. Relief for myself because now I knew the end of the story. The story of Nails.
Oh yeah, it's great. You know, he's got the shot. He shoots the deer. Deer runs off. I mean, it makes me dizzy doing those. I don't know how he got away with doing that stuff.
I mean, it's like Golden Corral said, "Hey, $4.99 buffet," and there he went. He's just... It's like he just sat down in an ice-cold kiddie pool, waist deep. Go back, water. Keep on rolling. Take a leak back here somewhere.
Are we recording?